There was a cool little feature in this game of Richard Sherman at free safety. Robert Saleh, big fan of the show. He listens in and was like, all right, let's give it a shot. It worked. Is that the future? Is Richard Sherman the free safety of the future? And notice I got the little ticker at the bottom so you can remember what the question is.
Well, actually, I'm still a bit concerned about it, but it's not because I don't think that Sherman is mentally capable of being an elite free safety in the NFL. He's one of the greatest ball hawks of all time. Nobody gets more interceptions when he's healthy than him. But I'm concerned, and I wrote it this week into Twitter that actually I don't think that Sherman can just keep his acceleration and the explosiveness that he had before on a high level. And as we are watching the game films of Sherman playing American football, we can see that he lost a lot of explosion and a lot of speed. And that's the thing that concerns me, because if we want to use him as a single high free safety, I don't think that's going to work. Or it can work, but we must hide his weaknesses with the coverage.
I actually think, I think that his future is at safety, and they may want to bring him back as a safety. Now, it depends if Robert Saleh comes back. I don't know what this is, but thanks. It depends. It depends if Robert Saleh comes back. The new defensive coordinator could have a new plan for him, but I think Richard Sherman, he's not out of the woods yet. He came back. He had a good game against Robert Woods. Let's look at what's ahead of him at what he's facing this week. He's got Stephon Diggs. All right. So we saw what Richard Sherman gave up against Devontae Adams and Sammy Watkins in the playoffs. They were the same play. It was man-to-man coverage. He gave up the inside release and got burned for a big play. Can Stephon Diggs do that to him? Then next week, it's Terry McLaurin. The week after that, Amari Cooper. The week after that, DeAndre Hopkins. The week after that, DK Metcalf. So if he can get through that slate and hold his own, then he doesn't necessarily need to move to safety. But I think he's going to give up some plays the way he did last season down the stretch, just because it's a tough position and he's 32 and we all know. So I think he may need to move to safety. And there may be ways the Niners can work around his deficiencies. Like when they want to play single high, they can rotate Jimmy Ward up there. Yeah. But I still think, I do think even though he's slower, his instincts and his route recognition could get him like actually a step ahead of where Jimmy Ward would be in center field. And I think his interceptions, he could get 4 or 5 picks a year. I kind of like the idea of him at safety. And I'd like to see them continue to experiment with it, so at least they can have a better idea of what they're seeing and not have to guess next year.
Yeah, and when I talked to some guys, it seems like some people are just forgetting the fact that Sherman is an extra smart guy.
Right.
And as you mentioned before, he has super good instinct. He has a lot of experience, and he is a really, really good tackler as a cornerback. And I think that these are the key factors, besides the explosiveness, of course. But
and the thing again about Sherman again is that his best ability is to pick the ball off, interceptions, and he'll get you maybe 4 a year on the left side, but you can kind of avoid him. If you put him in the middle of the field, it's harder to avoid him. He might get 8 interceptions in a year. He might do something really crazy. So it'll be interesting to see. And also, like, if he starts struggling this season with the wide receivers he's facing, because again, I just listed them. They're really good ones. Terry McLaurin, Amari Cooper, they might start shifting them over to safety a little bit more now, because Tavarius Moore made a 2 or 3 egregious mistakes in the last game, which is to be expected from a young guy. But if Moore struggles at safety and Sherman starts struggling at corner, and Mosley's right there, I don't know, they might make a couple more adjustments. They can do stuff. I mean, it'll be interesting to see.